I ruined my daughter's childhood. 6 years after our baby girl was born, my wife was sitting on a bus that crashed into a pole, and because of where she was seated, she was the only one that died. And I always swore to myself that I wouldn't date again until Aria was older. I knew I had to be the one that would hear about her first period, her first real crush, and her first heartbreak. So by the time she turned 14, we were more like best friends than anything else. I still don't know how she turned out so well. I never had to tell her to do anything more than once, and she was grateful for everything she had. Honestly, sometimes it felt like she was my role model. It was around this time that I met Veronica. She was the type of woman to laugh at your joke when the rest of the room was silent. And when I realized I had a crush on her, I got scared. I didn't want to confuse Aria in case it didn't work out, but I knew I couldn't be single forever, so I decided to just take things slow and very private. We went on 1 date a week, and she already knew about Aria because of the photo frame I kept in my office. And on our 1-year anniversary, I finally told Aria about it. "No effing shit, Dad. You're really terrible at hiding things from me," she said. I burst out laughing, and the next week we hosted a barbecue and invited her. I had no idea how bad things were about to get because they hit it off immediately. Veronica complimented Aria's vintage band t-shirt, and suddenly they were deep in conversation about music I'd never heard of. It felt easy, natural, like maybe I could actually do this. And on our 2-year anniversary, the month was filled with cardboard boxes and moving vans because Veronica moved in with us. The first week was amazing. Aria had someone to complain about period cramps with, and I could hear them laughing all night. But one Friday, everything changed. I came home from work to find Aria in her room with the door locked, music blasting. Usually she listened to the Arctic Monkeys or Tame Impala, but suddenly that had been replaced by Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. When she finally came down for dinner, I barely recognized her. My sweet Aria had her face caked in heavy makeup, dark smoky eyes, bright red lips, foundation so thick it looked like a mask. She was wearing a dress so short she couldn't even sit down properly. "What's with the new look?" I asked, trying to keep my tone light. She just shrugged and kept eating. Veronica and I exchanged glances but didn't push it. Teenagers experiment, right? Except things only got worse from there. Aria was getting dress coded at school every day, and one day I caught a package in the post from Victoria's Secret and saw that she had spent $300, all her saved up birthday money, on red undergarments. Then came the boys. First it was Jake from her math class, then Tyler from the debate team. At first she told me they were just friends, and I believed her, but they'd show up at all hours, honking their horns instead of coming to the door. "This isn't like her," I told Veronica one night. "Something's wrong." Veronica sighed. "She's 16. This is what 16-year-olds do. She's testing boundaries." I wanted to believe Veronica was right, but my gut told me something else was going on. Aria had gone from my best friend to a stranger in just a few months, and then came the moment when everything clicked. I was fast asleep at 2 a.m. when I heard the front door creak open. I looked out the window and saw Aria getting into a car I didn't recognize. I didn't even waste time putting on pants, just grabbed the car keys and followed them. They drove to a quieter part of town. Nothing dodgy, just less houses, no streetlights. I turned my lights off and made sure to keep my distance. That's when I saw it. A man who looked like he could be in his 40s, getting out of his car to let Aria out. When I saw him lean in to kiss her, my jaw dropped so hard I could practically hear it crack. I jumped out and ran towards him, ready to beat him until his organs were the same consistency of a smoothie. "Dad, what are you doing?" Aria yelled, as if she was surprised to see me attack him. She then jumped on my back and forced me off of him. "Dad, I thought this is what you wanted." By this point, she was in tears, and even through the anger, I instinctively stroked her hair. The man had driven away, and we were sitting together on the sidewalk. "Now that you have Veronica, you don't need me anymore. I was just trying to find a new man to take care of me when I turn 18. I stared at her blankly, unsure if this was a lie to get her out of being in trouble. But then she continued. "It's what Veronica told me to do. Honey, I could have all the gold in the world, and I would still need you." Once she finally believed me, I ordered her an Uber to my mom's house, because I knew there was no way I would drive safely after hearing that. When I got home, Veronica was already awake and waiting for me at the door. She draped herself over me, kissing my neck, and I kissed her back, because I wanted Veronica in prison, but I knew I needed a confession first. Full story on channel, link below.